Hey everybody, Miss Hooper here. Getting ready to do another MWROC practice video. This one is for a very popular tune by Metallica called Enter Sandman. I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you. I have mixed emotions about this song. When it first came out, back when I was in high school, way back in the day, uh, I found it amazing, and it still is an amazing song. Don't get me wrong; it's an amazing song. Uh, Yeah, I jumped on the Metallica bandwagon after I heard it. Everybody suddenly decided Metallica was cool, and all. But since then, I've heard it so many times. I've just been oversaturated with Enter Sandman. It's still a great song. If I haven't heard it for a long time and then I hear it again, I'm like, yeah, that's cool and all. But I do hear it done often enough where that doesn't happen too much. So. I told you that because I want you to see and understand that I am still committed to learning this song and to performing it as if it is my favorite. Um, because that's just the right thing to do. That's the professional thing to do. That is, and anything you do, whether it's your personal favorite or not, you have the right to have favorites. It is perfectly acceptable to have songs that you're gung-ho for and songs that you could care less about. That is perfectly fine. That's part of the human experience. But while you're in that situation, while you're in that group, while you're in that ensemble, while you're preparing for that performance, you need to treat it as if it's your absolute favorite. Um, and that goes with anything in life. Any task that you have to do as part of your job, if you want to be able to do what you love, you have to be willing to do the things that you are ambivalent towards. And you have to treat it like you love it. Because if you get a reputation for an attitude, people aren't just going to want to deal with you. So I'm going to practice this as if it's my favorite. There is a lot of repetition going on. A lot of this is pretty easy. There's a couple sections I bracketed in terms of just making sure I can get up to speed. One little rhythm section. There are some bowing questions I have. I'm going to wait till I get to the camp and see if it's all revealed, because it could be a misunderstanding on my part. It could be a typo. But I'm going to do what I think is the correct bowing, or just do what I'm able to do and be ready to ask those questions when the camp starts. Enough talk. Let's get some action going on. I'm going to warm up on this one a little bit with some of those trickier riffs. As always, I have my handy metronome app. This song is about 120, so I'm going to put it at 100, and again, subdividing. And I'm going to play through one of the little riffs. It's just a little fast finger twist, not even a finger twister. I'm going to turn this off. It's not really much of a finger twister. It's very much a scale pattern going up and down scales. So it should be pretty easy, but looks can be deceiving. So I'm going to warm up on this. It's about 2 measures, and I'm going to start a little bit below tempo and work my way up. I'm starting at 100. The concert goal is about 120 or so. So without further ado, here we go. Check my key signature so I don't practice anything wrong. Okay, that was pretty good. I'm going to do that again just to make sure I'm solid. I messed a couple times there. I played a wrong note at the end, and I let my mind wander halfway through. So I'm going to do that again. Alright, that was better. Let's go and bump it up a little bit. I'm going to do increments of 5. So I'm going to go at 105 right now. I played that last note wrong. Now I'm going to make a comment about that. So after that little run, I'm supposed to play an F sharp on the E string. First one finger on the E string. What I'm doing instead, and this is something I need to practice, is, or to get out of it, is putting my first finger on the A string to play B instead. The good news is if I accidentally make this mistake in the actual performance, it should still match the chord. The B should still fit into the chord nicely, so no one really notices the difference. But again, we're practicing it like this is my favorite song, and the right thing to do is to learn the right notes. You do not want to be known as the person who fudges the system, who gets real lazy. So I'm going to do that again. Okay, I got it. And again, I'm hitting myself. I got to work on that. And let's try 110. Oh, that was good. All right, let's go up to 115. And it's always nice. I'm going to try to pause that. It's always nice when you run something and you nail it. Now, ideally what I would do is I would go through it again to make sure that I didn't get it right by accident. I would get it right on purpose. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to go straight to bumping up the tempo. Alright, that was good. I'm getting there. This might end up being my favorite yet. Alright, 120. That's the goal. Alright, pretty good. I'm going to run through that again just to make sure I got it. That one I was a little more shaky. I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, I'm getting it. 115 is my comfort zone, my peak, where I do my absolute best. 120, I start to lose it just a tiny bit. And I'm going to talk about that real quickly. When you're practicing, whether it's selecting a song or practicing selection, there's 3 zones. They're called the zones of proximity. And I'll do another video more about this later. But basically, there's the zone, your comfort zone, where it's easy peasy lemon squeezy, almost no thought processes whatsoever. Then you have a tiny bit out of your comfort zone where you have to work a little bit. There's a little bit of tension, but still room for growth. And then the third zone where it's just way over your head, way beyond your level. And you never want to try, you don't want to stay down here because you don't grow. You need to step out of that little comfort zone in there. As nice as it is, we got to get out of there. But at the same time, you don't want to go jump way over there. So you always want to practice just a little bit outside your comfort zone. So the good news is, with a tiny bit of discomfort, I can play it at concert tempo, at least that particular section. I'm going to work on the next section now, which is another run. And I'm going to go back to 100 for this run, and I probably won't take so much time to bump it up. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so I actually started too fast at the beginning. My fingers were still in that 120 zone, and I had to force myself to pull back. Excuse me. So now I am going to go to 120. I'm going to take that as an indicator that I'm ready for the concert speed. So let's see what happens. I played a wrong note at the end, and I did do a C sharp instead of a C natural in the middle of it that time. I was enjoying the moment, and I didn't pay attention. So I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm going to mark that C natural now. I am not going to rely on myself to simply remember it. Having a pencil gives you permission to forget. And when you have permission to forget, then you can focus all that mental energy on other aspects of your performance. So let's do it again. Let's make sure I'm plugged in there. All right, that was it. I'm going to go ahead and mark another F natural because I didn't miss it, but I see the potential for missing it, so I'm not going to take any chances. All right, so I have warmed up on 2 out of 3 of the trickiest sections of the song. There's a third section that I'm going to go through. I'm not going to put this in the video. Actually, I'll do a separate video for that one because what I do to practice it is going to be completely different what I did everything else. But notice what I did is I picked the trickiest sections to warm up on, started slow, built up, figured out my comfort zone, and worked one zone out of there. And then I feel confident being able to play this entire song through beginning to end. So I hope this is helpful. Please let me know questions, thoughts. I'm planning on doing more of these videos, not just for the rock camp, but for anything at all. So I look forward to hearing your feedback, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you for your time. There it is.